Good evening, everyone. You here? Okay. I don't know if I can get through it, but I'll try. So, Linda and I have been married for a long time. I think by now we know it, it's stuck. It's stuck. It's stuck. It has stuck. Now, whenever I say something that doesn't sound good, it's my accent. So the secret for our success of our marriage is that we specialize. For example, Linda specializes in talking. That's just what she does. My specialty is not talking. Other than saying, "You're right, dear." Tonight, we are taking a risk, doing the opposite of what we normally do. I will talk, Linda will not. 1998, in the first half of that year, the euro was created. Google was founded. The first iMac appeared. An earthquake in Afghanistan killed 5,000 people. A treaty in Ireland ended their decades-long conflict, and Bill Clinton was impeached. A typical year. Our own life in Chicago was going very well. We were in our late 30s, so young. Eli was almost 5, Danny was 16 months old. Linda was working hard, I was working. Sunday, May 10th, was Mother's Day. Linda and I left the kids with their babysitter and had dinner at Trattoria Gianni's. In the middle of the meal, the babysitter called and our hearts sank. It was a false alarm. Literally, our house alarm was blasting and she needed a code to shut it off. Our life was going so well. We felt very lucky. We wanted to pinch ourselves to make sure we were not dreaming. 2 days later, I was working from home. It was Tuesday, a beautiful spring day. In the afternoon, the phone rang. It was Children's Hospital. They said I had to come immediately. There was a problem with Danny. We lived right across the street from Children's. I was there in 1 minute. The doctor waited for me together with a chaplain. They said the portable crib collapsed and killed Danny. I felt like I was going to faint. They let me hold Danny for the last time. I remember touching the soft curls of his hair. We buried Danny the next day. Many people who are here with us today were at his funeral. The first thing Linda did, she went to the fire station in Lincoln Park that had responded to the 911 call. She went to thank the paramedic for trying to save her. That's just what she does. Ray Black, a big tough firefighter, broke down and cried. I told her he tried. Danny was already dead. The portable crib folded on his neck and strangled him. He didn't have a chance. What a great. Yeah. So, Ray told Linda that when he went home that evening, he took his baby's portable crib into the backyard and hacked it to pieces with an axe. That week, we started sitting Shiva, surrounded by friends and family. Many of you were there with us. People flew in from Boston, from New York, thank you, Rhode Island, California. My mother and youngest sister came from Israel. We did what we always do with our friends. We talked a lot, cried and laughed, and we ate too much. And then everything changed. Our friends and neighbor, Steve Sendowitz, walked across the street with a newspaper, Chicago Tribune, in his hand. The article said that the play school had been recalled and that Danny was its 5th victim. A startling rate of 1 dead baby for every 2,000 cribs that were sold. I think it's safer to ride a motorcycle without a helmet. With a quick search, we realized that the problem with defective children's products was much bigger than this type of defective crib. So we sat there with our friends at the Shiva and we started to plan how to prevent the next death. Last week, Linda dug out a pile of notes she took at the Shiva. Because if you don't write it down, it doesn't exist. Who keeps handwriting notes for 20 years? This is what I have to live with. But you would not believe the number and ingenuity of ideas that are on that list. She read it to me. So, Steve Zweibel then filed the Articles of Incorporation, and 28 days after Danny died, KID was founded and lived in our basement at our home. We started to make a lot of noise. We sent an email alert that reached millions. The business school tech guys allowed us to spam everyone at the university. And people forwarded it all over the world. We received many emails back from people we didn't know, thanking us. Like the one from an FDA administrator who intercepted it because her job was to be the gatekeeper for spam. She emailed back that she just called her sister who pulled her sleeping baby from one of these cribs. Then she sent the email to the entire FDA. Everyone. We would sit at night just reading these emails. It kept us going. Today, the children's product safety scene is fundamentally different because of Kids in Danger. KID developed educational programs, seminars, design projects with universities. David Ziven wrote an ethics case based on Danny that continues to be taught in business schools across the country. We did a multi-year media blitz. There was 2020, Oprah, Katie Couric on the Today Show, People's Magazine, Newsweek, the Wall Street Journal, Voice of America, and here at home, our very own Channel 5 with Lisa Parker and Marion Brooks. The Chicago Tribune investigation team, headed by Trish Callahan, wrote a series of expose articles that received the Pulitzer Prize. And there was more. This tiny organization in Chicago had become the national authority on children's product safety. Nancy Cole is the person the media relies on for facts. I mean real facts. They call her for reliable information. Standards for products have become safer because of Nancy. Chicago has become a center for change. Illinois has led the way with Attorney General Lisa Madigan, making it a priority to improve product safety here. For many years, the US Congress showed no interest in a federal law. So we went state by state and passed laws. KID lobbied the states hard. Then, right before the vote, Linda would travel there to testify in person and shame them into voting yes. That's just what she does. State by state. Then, suddenly there was an opportunity to pass federal legislation. KID and the entire community of advocates were ready. Under the leadership of the fabulous Rachel Weintraub, who's here, as she's known in our house, we passed a federal law that mandates what every sane adult assumes was already law. It tells manufacturers that they must safety test products before they sell them. To quote Linda, every idea, no matter how obvious, needs a champion. On August 14th, 2008, with the exception of one representative, guess who, every member of Congress voted for the Consumer Product Safety Improvement Act. It was veto-proof. Section 104 is titled the Danny Keysar Child Product Notification Act. Indeed, none of this would have happened without two unstoppable champions, Linda and Nancy. Which raises the question, so what did I do? I have to say that Linda prohibited me from wearing my t-shirt that says arm candy under my jacket. Otherwise I would have. So you read. My main role has been, I had a role. My main role has been to make sure Linda is well nourished. So she can keep on going. You know, hummus, chickpeas, knedlach. And Linda and Nancy kept on going. Relentless, dedicated, nice but tough, taking shit from nobody, pair of women. But the real secret for the success of Kids in Danger is not two people. It is many, many people. From the very beginning, we have had massive support from this community, from you. The list of our friends who have been with us for 20 years is very long. And their friends joined, and their friends' friends, and so on. Our friend Marla Felcher became a full-time advocate because of Danny's death. She dedicated years to researching the problem, ask her about dealing with FOIA's requests, and published some of the first articles in Mother Jones and The Atlantic. She then published a book, sitting right there also, called It's No Accident, How Corporations Sell Dangerous Baby Products. She doesn't mince her words. Bert Wittenberg actually designed and launched Kids' first website. Akiva Schechter's Carla Goldberg and Marla Fry, together with Carla's husband Bob, put on the first fundraising event at the Como Inn. Holly Rader worked with Linda to create the first product safety booklet called Minefields. And many of our friends who are here tonight have been supporting Kids in Danger for 20 years, 2 full decades, both financially and emotionally. Dear friends have come to be with us today from all over the country, from DC, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Boston, Durham, North Carolina, Florida, and so on. But the community has not been just our friends, also people we never met before, and actually never met since, ever. The kindness and compassion of strangers has been overwhelming. A printing company from Philadelphia made thousands of free color copies so that we could distribute Jonathan Ives' article. A billboard company from Indiana put up 100 free billboards for us. A marketing company from Chicago designed these billboards without charging us a cent. And all this was just in the first few months after Danny died. And the list is long, very long. Now it is 2018. Avi just turned 15. Tomer is almost 19. Eli is almost 25. Danny would have been 21 years old. Last week, Linda and I went out to dinner. We needed no babysitter. We were saying to each other that, once again, we need to pinch ourselves to make sure we are not dreaming. Not because we have a perfect life, we don't. It is because, again, we feel very, very lucky. We are lucky because we are part of this community. Because of all of you. We are grateful and humbled by all this. Thank you.